doing it. And hey, welcome in, Ellie. She's already here. So is Papa Smitty. Papa Smitty was like right in on it.
Yeah. See, Pop Smitty, he said he was traveling, so I told him that I wasn't going to work on his piece. I don't want him to miss it.
Joseph joined in as well. Ellie says, I've been waiting here for like 5 minutes.
Whatever. Yeah, Conquest. Everyone's hopping on the Conquest train, so I figured I would too.
You're correct. Everybody's jumping on Conquest. That's how it is. I mean, it's just basically how media. Welcome in, Huff.
Making sure.
Joseph says bad mama jamma. But yeah, it's just like, you see it like on media, and then everybody's like, oh my gosh, I love this character for years. How come you never drew him?
Right.
Snake Harris popped in.
Dang, all the homies is here. That's what I'm talking about. I love the support. I was nervous because everyone was streaming, and I was just like, man, it's just gonna be me and Joe up in here. Hold on, let me get a little slack on this cord. How's everyone doing today? I hope everyone's doing well.
Oh my God, Papa Smitty already tipped you $20.
Oh, Pop, is that for what's that for? I think we talked about it, but I forget.
I think it's because you're a good artist, maybe, and he likes what he sees.
That's what I like to tell myself, but I know there's an underlying reason.
Well, that's what I'm going to believe it's for.
Right. Oh,
Papa Smitty says white sword.
I'm going to have to change. Look, the tip got split. I don't know how. You see that?
Oh, yeah, I see that. I guess that's cheap, huh?
No, it's not, but let me change it.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. So today is Monday. Me and Joe, we decided to start calling this, excuse me, we decided to call this Digital Mondays. And on Mondays, we're going to be doing some digital work. I have a few things. I have a show this weekend, and I want to get some prints. Also, I will run some prints in like auction, or I'll put them up for sale. And my prints look like this. High quality.
Nice.
Different things like that. So I'll put some of those up for sale. I have not started me yet. I will start it though. That's on my list of things for this week. I should have it to you by then. She did Daredevil, and I told you, we literally talked about this the other day, and she already sent me like the sketch. It's actually already done. She finished the whole card. Yeah.
Ellie's eyeballing Black Panther is what she said. Yeah, I feel like after I did that one for Papa Smitty, like I need to be doing like some more stuff similar to that. I'm guessing that D is busy with his wife.
Jeremiah, do you not understand how that messes up the shoes?
Not Daredevil, it's Black Panther. Okay, well, I'll make sure he pays attention.
All right. Sorry about that, you guys. I had to go change that tip because it split. So let's see if we can.
It's not Daredevil, it's Black Panther.
Yeah, Black Panther. Did I say Daredevil?
Yes.
Did I?
Yeah.
You're supposed to back me up, Joe.
I was just letting you know you said Daredevil.
Man.
I didn't believe you said Daredevil.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to like make you think you were going crazy.
All right, so let's see what we can do. So at this point, I feel like I've been doing a lot of like overdrawing, and what I mean by that is I'll do the rough sketch, and then I'll go over it and pencil and all of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I
So
feel
you got,
like, yeah,
like I say, you got a couple people over on YouTube. Oh boy, Footballed and Gioni. They're both over there. No, that's if I'm saying Gianni. It's a Gionni, so it's probably Italian. They're checking you out. They're saying that they like the football, the drawing, and hope you're doing great.
thank you. Thank you. I'm just getting some basic lines in right now, and see if we can start getting this. I want to finish this on the stream. From what I remember seeing.
Oh, what I was trying to tell you is like I would like this week because you said you're not really working this week.
No.
And you were asking me like what days we can stream. I was going to tell you like whatever days you want, I'll make it work.
You'll make it work.
Yep.
Okay. And like I was saying, I feel like sometimes I be overdrawing because I'll go over the same piece, and I think most of us do. You know, when you're drawing traditionally, you'll do your rough sketch and then you'll lighten it and then you'll do your pencils and all of that kind of stuff and then ink. Well, I'm trying to not overdraw so much. I'm gonna do my rough instead of fine pencils. I'm gonna just go in with inks and then clean up the inks as I go.
Obviously, it says when can you schedule White Sword?
I'll probably do it tomorrow. I didn't expect you to be here. You said you weren't. You said you weren't gonna be here.
Traveling, huh?
Yeah. He said he was on vacation, so he.
Oh man.
Yeah.
What's a vacation?
Spring break.
I have no idea what that even is.
Spring break?
Spring breaks and vacations. I don't know what any of those things are.
Ah, right.
I just
There you go.
work my life away, constantly pushing this heavy stone, this rock uphill, and for some reason it keeps getting bigger and heavier every year.
Yeah.
He says he's in Atlanta with the family.
That's what happens when you work for the man.
You're not wrong, dude.
They just take and take and take.
Well,
I didn't
you know,
like the way that.
I remember when my daughter was about to turn 18, and she was wanting to move, and she was getting ready to move out of the house. And her and her mom at the time had gotten into a big fight and everything like that. And it was kind of pushing her out the door. And she told me, she's like, I can't wait until I'm 18 and nobody can tell me what to do. And I'm like, I tell you what, when you get to that point in your life when nobody's telling you what to do, you let me know how you got there. Cause,
exactly.
Iceman showed up and so did Kay. Holy moly.
Kay?
Iceman said, go Braves. So Ellie says, oh no, Braves. I decided what I'm doing with the Harley cover.
Oh yeah, she got a Harley cover.
And Kay says, hey friends.
Kay, we're happy to have you here, man. I'm happy that you're not streaming and you can actually be here with me and Joe. All of you guys. Thank you guys. Thank everyone that's viewing, even over on YouTube. Thank you guys for being here.
She says, I'm going to do Harley and then her hyena and Deadpool in the background.
Ooh.
And Kay says she's happy to be here too. She says, oh, I know, me too.
That's right.
So, yeah, I mean, there's only a few people missing, but honestly, for the most part, we got like a lot of the big names in here.
Right. And we've only been on for a little bit, so I know that it's going to be, once they come in, they'll stop by. A lot of them are streaming right now, though.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too.
I'm just kidding.
No, and that just means that like a lot of the people we're with right now will probably be bouncing in between a lot of their streams because it's all kind of like the same community.
Right.
So I saw a lot of those pictures that Iceman sent. I guess probably sent them the same ones to you. So
yeah.
It's little Iceman figures with the belt and everything like that. I'm like, no, I get it. I totally understand. So. Let's see. Pop Smitty says, guys, I thought of doing a show where I don't start with sketches, just straight inks. You know,
like
Frank Cho, that thing,
inks only?
Like ballpoint pen inks, like I said, like Frank Cho or.
You don't call the show inks only, huh?
Yeah, right. No kidding, right?
And as right now, I'm still being really sketchy with it or whatever. But as we move further along, it's going to clean up a little bit. But sometimes not, because I really do like approaching my digital work the same way that I do my digital work. That way, it's not much of a separation, you know?
Right. No, he says yep. So I'm assuming yep means that yeah, he's talking about doing it like in ballpoint ink. That's cool. I mean, honestly, I've done that a few times, and I like working with ballpoint ink when I'm just goofing around, like when I'm at work and I've got nothing better to do. And I find that the ballpoint is a lot more forgiving and easier to like get heavier and lighter with, you know, like you know, like some of the decent line weights and stuff like that, and some of the other like kind of ink pens that are out there. Not entirely sure what KV, but KZ. The Papa says maybe finish it with a brush pen.
I have a love-hate relationship with the brush pen.
Kate says, do you do the sketch? D, do you do sketch cards?
I do. I just haven't done any in a little bit, but I do. I do have them. There's a few in the bin as well. And you know what, you guys? I was thinking about running some items too today. So if you guys,
okay, she says okay, I'll check them out.
if you guys want to maybe get something.
So you're thinking about doing a white sword tomorrow on stream?
Yeah. If he's
Okay.
gonna be there, are you gonna be there? Or are you gonna be off? Like,
Well, right now it's like almost 8 o'clock. It's almost 9 o'clock in Atlanta. So I mean, I guess depending on what he's doing with his family out in Atlanta, you know, maybe this time of the night is like everybody winding down and he's got a few minutes to himself.
yeah.
Ellie says if I had the money, I'd snag that Wolverine in the bin. Joseph says, Graves, you sell the Swamp Thing? Question mark.
I did. That got sold that night. I actually shipped it out this morning.
Yeah, I sent that one that I made for Papa. I sent out this morning.
Did you?
Yep.
I have excuse me. So I have some other sketch covers that I have right now, but the next sketch cover that I'm going to be working on, I want to do the ultimates. So I want to do the ultimates, and Joe, I was kind of, you really got me sold on Blue Marvel.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I want to do him, and I also know that I can do Black Panther on the ultimates as well. So
yeah,
I might do that as well. I feel like I'm low key kind of like fighting off a little cold, in which I hate.
Sniffles,
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
hear
get
the
it.
sniffles, man?
I do.
I don't like
I
that.
do.
Makes me
I'm a
feel.
little. I don't have a cold. I'm just a little congested because the temperatures was swinging back and forth where, you know, I'm at here, and we got into the 50s, but then at night we're like dipping into the 20s. And then like last night we got rain, then we didn't get rain today, but then we're supposed to get rain again this evening. So it's like, geez Louise.
Right.
And then Ellie says, "Oh, that sucks, Joe." Yeah, that's all right. It's springtime. It's gonna be warm and cool. So that's why I like living in the Midwest, is because anytime I get tired of the weather, I just gotta wait a couple months, and it's gonna completely change.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I've known people that like lived in like Hawaii and stuff like that, and they say it's like living in Groundhog Day. Every day is the exact same. You kind of forget like what day of the week it is, you forget what day of the month it is, you forget what month it is, just because it's always like the same. And I'm like, yeah, I can get tired of that real quick.
So far, it's coming out, huh?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I don't want to have the sniffles the whole show.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Joseph
So
says you need to draw Conan versus Michael Myers.
Conan versus Michael Myers. I'm down. I'm down. You make almost every show, bro. I will do a commission for you with Conan. I almost bought a Conan sketch cover, but
Right.
I do know the dealers, so unless they sold it, if I see them come up live again, I might snag it.
That'd be cool.
I thought about snagging it that night because I was like, man, I already know who's gonna want the freaking Conan.
Yeah, Ellie says that would be awesome. So, did you see like the Jason Momoa Conan movie?
No,
It wasn't that great.
I wouldn't think so. Like outside of the DC, is Jason Momoa even like a good actor? Like honestly, truly, no.
I remember when I was younger, and the first time I really ever saw him on anything was Stargate Atlantis, and he was Joseph says terrible. Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing him on Stargate Atlantis, and he pretty much like plays the same kind of thing like just about every time.
I'm telling you, like
until he proves to me otherwise, he's like The Rock.
yeah,
So,
The Rock. The Rock can only play the same type of character, like some beefed up juice head.
well, Ellie
And
says he's decent in Fast 10, where he's acting very-ish.
is he though?
I
Or
don't know. I've
are
never
you
seen.
just crushing out right now?
I don't know. I didn't watch Fast 10, so
I'm tired of the Fast and the Furious franchise. I feel like we need to let that go.
yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of actors anymore that like pretty much like unfortunately, The Rock and Jason Statham are kind of in that same boat.
Yo, but I feel like Statham is low key kind of like embracing the fact that he's a one trick pony.
Yeah, but is it weird that like I really like his movies?
His movies are pretty dope though. Like
No, I know.
they all have the same storyline. They just have different names and different.
Yeah,
But
exactly. So,
the premise is always the same. It never changes.
yeah. Joseph says I would huge Jason. Ellie says they did do too much with that movie. Ellie says Beekeeper was a good one. I haven't seen Beekeeper yet. I want to see it. It's one of those things where time is a valuable commodity that I have very little of that money.
Beekeeper was a good movie. I was surprised by it, but I wasn't because, like I said, this
well, the one I just saw, I finally got around to seeing Wrath of Man, and I just saw that one like maybe 2 weeks ago. And I finally got around to seeing that. I really wanted to see that one too. So,
what was it? Wrath of Man.
yeah. Yeah, Joseph, instead of saying he would huge Jason, he would hug Jason, is what he meant. I kind of figured, but I said, you know what? I'm just going to go with exactly what he typed. So, Joseph's going to huge all over Jason. Ellie says the Transporter movies and Hobbs and Shaw are my two favorite Jason movies. Yeah, honestly, the Transporter movies aren't bad.
Hobbs and Shaw was good too with
Yeah,
Idris Elba.
All right, so I'm gonna crap all. I mean, I actually like the first. What is the Meg?
With the shark.
Yeah, the first one.
Was he in that?
Yes, he was in the first one. And he was in the second one too. But the first one is actually, there's some comedic moments and stuff in the Meg. Yeah, Ellie says the Meg is a good one, bro. It's the one guy who is from Rainn Wilson is in that from like The Office. He's in that. He plays like this billionaire or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the comedy relief in that movie. And he really makes it. I mean, honestly, it's a decent movie. It's not the greatest, but again, you know what you're getting into when you got like a Jason Statham movie and he's taking on like a giant great white shark. You know, and hey, I'm going to spoil it. He wins, but you know, it's just yeah, like I said, Rainn Wilson he's comedic gold in that movie. And there's some other characters that are actors and stuff that are in that movie that were pretty good. It's oh my god, I can't think of the actor's name. Did you ever see Bullet Train?
So I've seen it, but I haven't like finished it. And I know it's like an all-star cast, and like it's got like Brad Pitt, and it's got a bunch of. It's just a lot going on in that movie, bro.
There's
like,
a lot going on. So like they've got those two assassins called the twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the black guy, he's I can't remember his name. He's also in the Meg. So,
really?
Yes, and again, he's hysterical in the Meg. Yeah, there's a lot going. There's a lot of decent actors in the Meg. It's not. I mean, honestly, I was like when I saw like the trailer and stuff in theaters, I'm like, I have zero interest in seeing this. And then it was like on HBO one night, and I'm like, oh my god, this movie is actually really good. And it's like now it's like every time it comes on, it's like I just happen to flip that channel on. Alex J17, welcome.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Everybody joining us for Digital Monday. I want to go in, and I'm gonna do a lot of blood on this.
Good. Yeah, other actors that pretty much like play like the same character in every movie. Unfortunately, in that bag would also be like Ryan Reynolds. And Alex also says Conquest is looking gnarly so far, man.
Thank you. I honestly appreciate you. And no, you're wrong. Okay. Ryan Reynolds he does not play the same character. We do apply the same things to him though because of what we've known him for. But I've seen him play different roles. But yeah, he does play a specific role really well. You know what I mean?
Okay, so which movie are you thinking about where he played somebody different?
Don't ask me questions.
Anime Iskawa, welcome in. And Ellie says, my daughter hates Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, really? Damn, Ellie. That must be like a house divided.
Ellie, it just, Ellie, it's not just your daughter.
What's your beef with Ryan Reynolds?
Oh, no, I didn't say I hated him. I
didn't say you hated him. I'm saying, what's your beef?
I don't know. I just
you don't even know. You just want to hate.
I don't. There's a vibe about him I just don't like.
Yeah.
I want to like him. I mean, it's like Hugh Jackman. I want to like Hugh Jackman, and there's probably a lot to like about Hugh Jackman.
Wait, you don't like Hugh Jackman?
I didn't say I didn't. I just said,
I don't feel. Did anyone else take what Joe was about to say as if he did like Hugh Jackman? Because it really sounded like you were about to say you didn't like him.
I don't dislike them. I just don't
like them.
I'm just not all about them.
Uh-huh.
There's just, like I said, there's something a little off. I don't know.
Interesting. I don't know, Joe.
It may just be me. I mean, I would like to believe that, like, the person that Ryan Reynolds portrays, like, out in public, and, as being, like, super vulnerable and, always funny and, everybody in his life loves him and he's generous to everybody for, no other reason than just because he wants to be generous. I would love for that to be, like, the real person.
probably
I know
is.
Kay. I know. And the sad thing is Kay's going to defend him because he's Canadian, too. I'm sorry. I know I'm a dirtbag. Let's see. Ellie says Six Underground and the Atom Project are
The Atom Project.
a tidbit different than what he usually does, I think. Actually, I like Six Underground, but Atom Project I thought was kind of...
I feel like that's kind of on point for Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and I also thought it was kind of mid at best.
I don't know. I kind of dug it. It was something about it.
Free Guy. I really liked Free Guy. I thought Free Guy was great.
So did I. I like that. I like that movie. I bought it.
And maybe it was just the premise of the movie too that made it work. The Proposal, that's a good movie too.
It is.
But again, I mean, Ryan Reynolds is just kind of like playing Ryan Reynolds. It's like the movie Waiting. I think Waiting is hysterical, but again, it's just Ryan Reynolds playing Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, I give you that. Waiting is pretty on moniker for Ryan Reynolds.
Free Guy was a good one. Yes, Ellie, I agree 100%. But I mean, just because he's on, it's like Deadpool. Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds, but it doesn't mean that he's not perfect for the part.
Yeah. I feel like this tip is just as bad. I might have to buy a whole new freaking Apple Pencil. You guys hear what I'm doing? I'm trying
to. I really don't.
Give a reason why I need a whole new iPad.
I'm sure your wife will love hearing that.
She will. But she's really going to love me when those new sketch covers come in the mail.
Right.
Oh.
Just remember when she starts giving you grief about it, just look her dead in the eye and say, "But I saved Joe's life."
Yeah. I saved it. Athena, get out of here. She's going to town on her paw right now, bro.
Yeah, Ellie says I can't really picture anybody else playing Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I think the rest of us are like that too.
Just like you can't picture anyone else playing Tony Stark or Nick Fury. Like, I can't imagine someone else playing.
Oh, I can imagine other people playing Nick Fury. I've seen other people play Nick Fury.
Were they good? No.
No.
Okay.
No, they weren't.
So
I was thinking about like back in the 90s when they had the TV movie of Nick Fury, where David Hasselhoff was Nick Fury.
I'm gonna stop you right there.
Yeah, I didn't say it was good, but I'm saying I could picture somebody else doing it. Now, again, I think Samuel L. Jackson was fantastic in it.
Yeah.
Very.
Do you feel like he plays the same character in every movie?
No, I don't. I mean, I think they're very similar, but no, I don't think they're the same character.
I was about to block you if you were about to say yeah.
No, I mean, like, I think about like radically different. I mean, I think dang, he's got some good ones.
Changing Lanes, A Time to Kill,
Django Unchained. I mean,
Django
is yeah. I mean, he's got a lot of really good, So, but I mean, some of his characters are the same. But I mean, there's similar traits, and it's because the character is probably written with certain traits that he can really bring forward because he's done so in the past. So
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
All right, so you guys, we're gonna be working on. Make sure that I'm on. I'm trying to stay on screen.
You're right in the center of the screen, man. Right in the center of the screen.
And then I don't want it. Does it look clear? Or is it all fuzzy? Like
no, it's clear. It's clear for me, but I mean, it doesn't really look fuzzy or anything like that.
That looks better, right?
Ellie says it looks clear to them as well.
Okay. So we're gonna be doing Conquest. We're also gonna be doing Earthworm Jim, and then I'm gonna try to do another run on Gur. So I'm trying to stay pretty quick with it. So
Kay says good. I think she's basically saying good because the fact that you're saying you're bouncing around is going to help hold her interest a little bit more.
Like Joe's voice doesn't do that enough?
Oh, no. Usually people probably listen to this, or I'm sorry, watch this probably completely muted. It's probably the best way to watch it. Ellie says, I need one of those iPads or a good computer program to use my digital art tablet thing on.
I would suggest, and this is just me, if you're not going to get an iPad, to get a like a Cintiq or something to where you can draw on the device versus
The Wacom.
yeah, like a Wacom where you're drawing here, but you're looking over at your computer screen. Like, yeah, I'm sure that that's cool and all, but I don't like the disconnect. And it was, again, because I stumbled on the people like Dev Shogun and, uh, what's his name? Michael Eblum or Ben Eblum. Like, and the work that they do digitally is what really sold me on digital work. I've been trying to do digital work for a minute.
Kate says wax on.
Wacom.
And then Ellie, yeah, wax on, yeah. And then Ellie says, that's what I have. Kate says, oh my God. Ellie then says, but I don't have a program for my computer. And Kate says, Wacom, request a PC.
It requires a PC. It does, I think.
I think so too. I believe well, she said request, but yeah, requires is probably what she meant, because yeah, I've heard that exact same thing. I think I know somebody who bought one of those and then said that, like, oh my God, I got to buy a PC, and then went out and bought like a super heavy duty PC, because you can't have just like a normal PC. It's got to have some serious guts to it to drive whatever Wacom's trying to punch into it. Then yeah, Kay double checked and said yes, requires LOL.
Yeah. So. And with the iPad, and whatever you do or you don't love the iPad, all you need is an iPad. And you don't even have to get like the iPad Pro. You can really just get the new iPad, or the iPad Air. As long as it can use the Apple Pencil, then you're good. You're good.
Well, Kay says iPad is so powerful and it works as a laptop, so she's glazing right now.
Yeah. You guys are really watching how I get down.
Yep.
You're watching how this piece is coming to life.
Kelly says my pad thing came with a pencil. I'll have to send you a pic of it.
Yeah, I had one too, and I almost gave it away. Actually, I don't know what I did with it. I think I might have thrown it away, unfortunately. I said, I don't want to curse somebody else with this. Let me just put it in the trash. It was and I'm not like trying to be disrespectful, but it was like a Huion. It was pretty cool. HU, it's like a Japanese name. Huion. Huion.
Yeah, me, man.
We're just putting some extra lines on this guy to make him look
absolutely textured, man. Beat up and dirty or whatever.
So yeah, I think I'm going to do that, where I'm going to kind of pop back and forth on this piece.
Bill over on YouTube is asking if it's that Walter Brimley.
It could be.
Yeah, except he's dead, so diabetes. So
a diabetes.
The diabetes.
No, this is an Invincible character, Conquest. Does it look like Conquest? I think it looks like Conquest.
Looks like Conquest to me. In case of diabetes.
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Yeah, that's right. My brother, when he wanted me to like he sent me this little YouTube video overwhelmingly, like over and over and over again, from like different parts of a commercial saying diabetes, diabetes, diabetes. And he wanted me to turn it into like a ringtone and send it back to him. So like whenever his daughter would call him, it would say that because she has type 1 diabetes. And I'm like, hey, Jack, that's a little rough, dude. I mean, that's kind of seriously rough.
He said, I have type 1 and 2 diabetes. Oh, you have both of them, huh? That's all of them. Okay. You got all the diabetes.
That's right.
Diabetes, the silent killer.
I thought that was cancer too, but I guess they could all be. There's a lot of them that kind of fall in that category.
I don't know. I feel like cancer is very loud.
I guess maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Oh, so is your kid in the room with you?
No, he's not.
So the commission that I was telling you about.
Mm-hmm.
So what he wants me to draw, and his wife is going to commission it from me, is the Baroness and Destro. And since Destro has like that chrome head, he basically wants the Baroness standing like kind of behind a sitting Destro with her boobs pretty much like placed on his shoulders on either side of his head, polishing his chrome dome. And I'm like, I'll give it a shot.
You know you were excited. Yes, I'll do it.
I'll be honest with you, I've never drawn a chick like hugely juggy.
I need to draw more females to begin with. Like,
well, I mean, like the one I'm drawing right now, I feel, it's like I'm drawing like the younger version of Rogue. And because she's a teenager, it's like she has like a slight frame. So that's how I'm drawing her, because I'm like, yeah, teenagers, some of them have like, that's how she was drawn, like in the early X-Men, was she had a slight frame. So that's how I'm drawing her, because I know like when, like I took that picture and I showed my girlfriend, she's like, is that Rogue? I'm like, yeah. And she's like, how come her boobs are bigger? And I had to explain the whole thing to her too. Keep trying to tell her, I'm like, I like to try to draw different people with different anatomy. Well, I mean, it's the same anatomy, but different anatomy sizes. Not all men are built the same. Not all women are built the same. So I kind of like to vary it up and change it up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So what other actors can you not stand?
What other what?
What other actors can you not stand? Because they seem like they're pretty repetitious with their acting style. Or the characters that they have to portray.
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
See, Ellie says Tom Cruise. She can't stand him. Now, Tom Cruise, I can get that. However, as soon as you say Tom Cruise plays the same kind of character over and over again, I'm gonna say go watch Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I didn't even know that was Tom Cruise at first.
No, you didn't. I mean, that's the day was what was best, and then when you figure out it's Tom Cruise, you're like, what the hell am I watching? So.
But he does do that, especially in like his acting. Well, not acting, but his action movies.
Oh yeah, all of his action movies are unfortunately the same character over and over again. Like Ellie says, I've seen it, but I still don't like him. Like that one Mummy movie that he was in.
The Mummy.
I wanted to like that movie.
So did I.
But it's just like I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel like a Mummy movie. It almost feels like another Mission Impossible movie.
Almost. And his buddy, his friend in that movie, that dude was just a whiny little catnip.
Yeah,
I was tired of his character arc. I was like, oh yeah, they killed him off. Oh, and then he came back. Dang.
Yep. So now Ellie and I are going to start a fight here because she says Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser. I mean, but he fell off
He fell.
after the Mummy. No, he was in like Bedazzled.
Yeah, Bedazzled. He plays like 7 or 8 different characters, and I love that movie. I
Yeah.
love that movie a lot. She says he does really good in George of the Jungle, but repetitive in The Mummy. Right, but I mean, look at him in other movies. The Mummy is repetitive. There's 3 of them, but again, he's playing the same character, so that's probably why they're repetitive. But watch him in other movies, like, for example, like go watch him in Bedazzled, and then go watch him in The Whale, and then he was a Robot Man in like Doom Patrol. Go watch him in those movies, and he's completely different. And the reason why he fell off is because he got a divorce, and he left Hollywood to raise his kids.
His whole life fell apart. That's why.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt like he focused on the things that were important, and that was his kids. And then after his kids became grown-ups and they were adult and they were fairly well adjusted, maybe that's when he came back.
How's this looking, you guys?
So far, fantastic. Let's see. Ellie said, I also heard The Rock had something to do with him leaving Hollywood. That may be the case. I don't know.
Brandon Fraser? You know what? The Rock needs to be stopped.
Yeah. You know what? I mean, after he did
Black Adam?
He pretty much almost stopped a lot of stuff for him.
Yeah, so. The hierarchy is about to change.
Yep. About to get flushed down the toilet for him.
This is going to change everything. I said, this was the worst freaking movie. It was basically Wakanda.
Yeah. At least Vin Diesel, they have issues with each other. Yeah, Vin Diesel's another one who's kind of like a one-trick pony too.
He started off really hot in Triple X and the first Fast and the Furious movies.
The one that was before that, the one that I really liked was the first Pitch Black movie.
Oh, yeah.
He did the second one, which was The Chronicles of Riddick. I thought that was a pretty good movie, but like it did really crappy in box office.
Yeah.
But honestly, I really liked Pitch Black a lot.
Pitch Black was a solid movie, bro.
Dude, I saw it in theaters, and I was like, this is way better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was smart, too. So.
Heck yeah. I give you that. I actually liked that movie. I was like, oh, snap, bro. Pitch Black is beast. I forget the guy's name, the character that he was playing, but it was
Riddick.
Yeah, Riddick. Oh yeah, the Chronicles of Riddick.
Because the second one was pretty good. I liked the second one, Chronicles of Riddick. The third one wasn't that great. I'll be honest with you.
It went straight to DVD.
No, I think I saw it in theaters, but I mean, I think I was about the only one in there. And I was like, it's got to be better. I mean, because the second one was great. I mean, they kind of continue the story, and it was like, I think because the second one didn't do well in theaters, they went ahead and just said, hey, let's change up the story and let's get away from the second part, move back towards the first part. And Ellie says, I refuse to watch the third one. You're not missing out on anything. It's almost like they're trying to rehash the first one, and it doesn't work. I heard they were supposed to try to be making more of those Riddick movies, but I'm kind of like, maybe not. I don't know. Unless they're going to do them like the Reanimatrix or something like that and turn them into like animated movies or something.
We're going to try to add a little bit more.
So I had read the reason why he's all scarred up and beat up and like missing a limb is because like he had lost his powers while he was fighting those one particular beasts. I can't remember the name of them. The ones that actually give like Ultramites a run for their money, even when they're powered up.
With the tendrils and stuff. The one that Nolan and Invincible fought at the end of the first season, like before they.
I think so. Yeah.
That was
So
the same creature that he was fighting when he first came to Earth, right? Like it almost killed him.
it's a possibility. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Oh.
But I the one thing I'm kind of curious about, because I know like at some point later on they're gonna like Mark temporarily loses his powers, and so I'm kind of like, what is it that causes Viltrumites to lose their powers? I wonder.
They're gonna get Thrag in there soon.
Yeah.
And it's funny how Thrag, like, if you got to read the comics really, but I feel like the show is playing it really close to the comics. Do you agree?
I think season 3. Was this season 3 that we just watched?
Yeah.
Okay, so season 4 then will have. I'm curious how they're going to present the rape scene.
Why?
No, I'm just curious how they're going to do it.
But why?
Why what?
Why are you curious?
Because I'm just curious, like how they're going to edit it or not edit it. Because I know unfortunately, for the character of Mark, it's a big traumatic experience, and one that they kind of like repeatedly bring up in the comics.
Yeah. When he gets raped, who gets raped?
He does. Mark gets raped.
By who?
By Anissa.
The chick?
Yeah, the Viltrumite chick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that is what it is. But I don't know.
Yeah, then she has one of his kids.
Interesting. What and what issue are that in? Because I haven't read that. I haven't read that far. Spoiler, for real. You're known for spoiling things.
I'm assuming when something's been out for like 10 or 15 years, somebody's already probably read it, but I apologize.
No one asked you any of that. He said, because it's been out for 10 or 15 years, you should have read it already.
Usually, like, nobody really, in the chat, nobody really asks me any direct questions, probably for a reason, so.
One of them. Because Joe is known for spoiling everything.
You are correct.
Don't try to invite Joe to a surprise party.
Yeah.
He'll add the birthday person in the group chat.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
How's this looking?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. All right.
I like what I'm seeing so far. I mean, you're starting to put the shadow in around his ears and stuff like that, so I was like, oh, he's going to be getting to the line weight.
Mm-hmm. We can merge. So I think I want the blood a little thicker right here. So let's get rid of this. The thing I love about digital, you can create endlessly. Yeah. Look at that extra blood. So I do plan on making this a print. I should have. Oh man, I should have did the version where he was like licking his hand with Adam Eve's blood.
Right.
Oh, maybe I'll do another one. Missed opportunity.
How many people are watching right now? It says Ellie's on there. It says you and 2 others.
So everybody left when you started talking about SA.
Probably. Ellie says y'all should watch Aftermath. What is Aftermath? Is that a TV show on NBC or something like that? It's a movie on Netflix. Okay. It has Dylan Sprouse in it. Oh, nice. One of the Sprouse twins.
I don't know who that is, though.
They were on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody back in the day.
Yeah.
So Dylan Sprouse is one of them.
I don't like those ones.
At least it's a really good movie.
What's it about?
When it seems something happened and they got to deal with it in the aftermath. But I'm going to let Ellie kind of spoil it for us. I was just about to say something super dirty about your picture, but I decided maybe I won't. He's not going to say exactly what it is, but it's a really good movie. Prisoner was getting transported. Stuff happened with Dylan Sprouse is a kicking ass.
For sure.
Ooh, that's another guy that I can't stand. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Thank you for reminding me of
Yeah, but I feel like that was that. I don't feel like he wanted it to be that way, but after he ended up as a one-trick pony, I feel like he just embraced it.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to at some point because you're like, man, I need another paycheck.
Yeah.
So.
Because it's funny because I was in Todd Beats and Joey's stream over the weekend, and they were talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme movies, and Joey kept mixing them up because they're all the same. You see one, you've seen them all. You can't be surprised. He's always going blind. He's always got to do some split scene, right?
Yep.
He's always got a training montage, but that could have also just been the tropes of the time.
Yeah, that absolutely was. Welcome in, Scrappy H. No, you're 100% accurate on that. I mean, you see certain actors in a movie. I mean, even back in the day, Schwarzenegger was the same way. It took him a while to kind of break the mold.
Yeah. After the Terminator. Was the Terminator his first movie?
No, his first movie was actually because before that he did one called The Villain, where he was like a muscular sheriff guy, and it was kind of like a campy Old West kind of a movie that was really based more on the coyote and the Roadrunner, and then the bad guy who was dressed all in black was not Kurt Russell. I'm sorry, the guy who played Ant-Man, his dad. I can't think of his name.
I know what you're talking about, though.
But yeah, so it was a funny movie, but that was the 70s, and then before that, he did a movie called Pumping Iron, which was essentially more of a documentary, but
about
was still
weightlifting and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is
Mr. America.
Machete, Steven Seagal, and Sylvester Stallone. I was gonna say Sylvester Stallone, but that guy has he's done a lot more recently, a lot more in the last 20 years. But yeah, his first, but his first Rocky movie that he won an Academy Award for, his first Rocky movie, that character was nothing like Rambo, and the first Rambo was nothing like the second or third or fourth. So he really did play different characters. Steven Seagal, that guy's just a piece of crap.
Wow.
Machete, yeah, I don't think he's a good actor at all, but I mean, even he kind of says the same thing where he's unfortunately, he says he gets all these parts and all they want to see is that tattoo on his chest. But I think Machete also plays a different kind of character that's just a toned down version of himself, like in the Shark Boy and Lava Girl movies. Cervantes just popped in.
Yo.
And shared your live stream.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that, Cervantes. We had a bunch of people that was in here for a hot second, but then I think they heard me talking and they all took off.
Guilty by association when it comes to Joe.
Yeah, I know. Doesn't matter how sexy your artwork is. As soon as Joe opens up his mouth, everybody runs screaming.
Yeah. Oh my God, his mod is talking.
Saying the rudest stuff ever. I'm trying to think of other actors or actresses that are, excuse me, that are not that great because they're the same. I mean, I would like to say Dolph Lundgren was like in that category.
Who?
Dolph Lundgren.
I don't know who that is.
Did you ever see like Rocky IV?
No.
The tall blonde guy. He's just, I must break you.
Yeah.
He plays the Russian.
Yeah.
So
he only plays like Russian type characters.
Or Nordic ones. I mean,
Yeah.
you know those. I mean, although he did a movie called "Come in Peace," where he was actually the short guy, even though he's like over 6'4", 6'5". You know, but yeah. But he played like a New York cop. It was kind of difficult for him to really pull off the New York accent with his accent. So
his accent was so thick, huh?
Yeah, very much so. Because yeah, I know. Like back in the day, you know, like he got to start acting just because he was associated with other celebrities because he was a bodyguard for. I know I just had her name earlier and I can't think of her name now. Grace Jones.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Well, and it turned out like after a while, like they like he was her bodyguard and then became her lover.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then Grace Jones was quoted as saying that they ended up like separating because he didn't have the stamina to like deal with her after they would have multiple orgies, and then she wanted to be dealt with afterwards.
Interesting.
And I was like, you got a lot going on there, lady.
She wasn't no baby.
No, I'm thinking not. Bobby Resin 3D Print, welcome in.
Welcome in. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's Digital Monday, so we're working on a few digital prints for this evening. Then we'll get back to the traditional drawing aspect of the show tomorrow. Tomorrow, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because tomorrow you're supposed to be doing White Sword.
Oh, yeah.
Ellie says Zootopia is on its way to C3. I can't wait to see what he does with it.
She's doing a collaboration with Custom Cut.
Right.
She just finished. Oh, did you see already?
No. I just assumed C3 was Custom Cut Comics.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen. I mean, I'm assuming it was the cover that she was working on today, because I was able to stop in for a hot second when I saw like she was broadcasting
Yesterday
earlier. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I'm sorry, I get my days mixed up. But yeah, it was yesterday because I saw her. She was like coloring in stuff.
Yeah. Her work is so clean.
Yeah, I was noticing that. She says she tries.
You don't try, you do. I can see it. Joe can see it. The world
there
can
is no
see
try.
it.
There is only a.
Do or do not do. There is no try.
I look at how sketchy my stuff is now, and I'm like, ooh, I gotta Ellyize it.
Look how sketchy my stuff is. I had to say, man, Joe makes me I need to draw cleaner, and then I did Swamp Thing because I'll be damned.
Don't do anything because of me, man.
I do
Seriously,
everything because of you, son.
I was gonna say, dude, I love your style.
I know. Thank you.
It's the same thing with like Geoffrey. I mean, it's like when I look at Geoffrey stuff, I'm like, oh, I wish I could handle a pen the way he does, you know. But I just can't bring myself to ink like that. It's so alien to me, you know.
Yeah. Right now, so I have the basic premise of how I want the shadows to go, but I'm really just kind of looking for cool shapes that, you know,
Right.
I know the general direction that I want the shadows to go, but I still feel like I have a lot to learn when it comes to shadow and shadow placement. Feel like my stuff be looking kind of clean though.
Yeah.
So it's funny though. Like I said, Conquest is real popular right now because of the show.
Yeah.
But you do know, like I posted my Conquest sketch in there, and then lo and behold, the freaking jam session is who?
Yeah, I
Conquest.
know. I saw that too, and I was just like, huh. So, and I know Evan loves that show too. So,
Of course.
welcome in, Kyle.
I be trying to take credit for everything.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't think you're wrong.
Not in a lot of ways, yeah. I want to try to leave all the blood just super white and open. I'm going to color it, but
Good.
for now, it stands out a lot like that.
Yeah, I would definitely make sure the blood gets colored in.
There will be.
Otherwise, it's going to look like he was part of a bukkake fest.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Like he wants to say, you got more?
Yeah, I know. Holy crap, what's that guy here at Conquest?
Yeah. Conquest. Man, shut up, Joe.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, and Joseph says, good one, Joe.
Don't encourage him.
Yeah.
He gonna be the reason why we get canceled.
You keep forgetting to put the explicit content on there.
I've never had to, and then here you come. You've only been with me for like a month.
It's one of those things, right? It's just like, oh my god. We don't necessarily have to have this, but there's a chance Joe might say something.
Yeah. Thank you for still being here, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph's still here, and Ellie's still here, as far as I know. It says us and 4 others, so.
It only shows if they're friends, which I think is a little lame.
Well, that's all right. Joseph said that is stupid.
Right?
Yep. Yeah, it's a shame you can't put like some like custom tags on here, you know, like with the explicit content warning. Because I mean, like, I know we had to do something like that for like the restroom at my job, where we had to make a sign that said this restroom's, after I was done with it, this restroom's experienced a Joe level event. Enter at your own risk. But in all fairness, that was early on when I was first getting on my diabetes medication. So I was playing hell with my guts.
Your diabetes.
Diabetes. For Billy. You ever see a movie called Ellie says be right back. You ever see a movie called The Adventures of Remo Williams? Or actually it's called Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins.
I feel like I might have heard of it. I don't know if I've watched it though.
I know Wilford Brimley was in that movie. That's why it made me think about that. Joseph says, "Oh yeah." So that movie was based. What got me crazy about that movie is I really liked that movie a lot. And what really kind of like I found out years later is my dad is the one who took us all to go see it. And I had no idea until like years and years and years later when my dad was like, because my dad was always reading books, always reading books. And he had like a certain like types of books that he was really all about. He was always reading like these ones that were kind of like the Punisher kind of stuff before the Punisher. He's reading this character called in print called Mac Boland, the Executioner, and he was reading like some Louis L'Amour, which is like westerns for the most part. But he was reading this one character called God damn it! It's what the characters are. It's called the Destroyer. That's what it is, the Destroyer. So, and the Destroyer is actually the Remo Williams character. And what they didn't touch on in the movie was because in the books, the Remo Williams character is taken off and trained in all these these different like martial arts and stuff like that to become an assassin, not to really do anything other than to train his mind and his body to help keep him alive, because he was the reincarnation of the Shivan god, the Destroyer, Shiva the Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
And if he died, Shiva would be released and it would pretty much like destroy the planet. So they were going through, and because they recognized what he was, they were trying to harm him in every way possible to prevent him from actually getting killed.
Oh. Okay. And you said all that to say?
I said all that to do what?
You said all that to say what?
Oh no, the character is just they didn't touch base on any of that in the movie.
Oh, okay.
And in the movie, they just basically made him like, they needed like somebody who had no family, no ties to anybody, so that they could train him to be like, like a kind of like a black ops kind of a killer that was completely off the books. And if for some reason he turned up missing or dead, which they pretty much like killed him, and then they brought him back with like plastic surgery, so he didn't even look like himself anymore, but like gave him a different name and everything. But since he like died, like nobody went looking for the body or anything, nobody cared because he had nobody.
Yeah.
And so then they turned him into like this, this, super dark, going after specific people. Yeah, secret agent, Joseph says. Exactly. I mean, I kind of liked the premise of the movie. I wish there would have been, with a movie that says Remo Williams, The Adventure Begins, I'm like, I can't wait till part 2. There never was. So it did not do well in theaters, but I like the soundtrack too. So I remember I saw that movie when I was a kid with my dad when we lived in Italy too. So there's a certain movies you remember where you're at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was definitely like in 5th or 6th grade when that came out. It was an alright movie. I mean, it still keeps me entertained to this day. Murph 51, welcome in.
Welcome in. Thank you for joining today.
going to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Why is it the last couple times we've been doing this, you're not playing music anymore?
I don't know. There's
Fanboy 1979, welcome in.
No reason. Just one less thing that I gotta get ready. I can start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that I have prepped. You know, like I can play the music. I really haven't.
Joseph's asking, are you putting this on a sketch cover?
I don't have any invincible sketch covers to put it on though. I'm gonna make a print on this right now. This is a print. This is going to be a print, but man, if I can get my hands on an invincible sketch cover, that would be dope.
Right.
Joe doesn't love me enough to make that happen. So.
Oh, I didn't even know. Graves likes the awkward silence. That's what Joseph says.
All you hear is the background noise of my fan.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's so funny.
Well, I mean, trust me, Joseph, you don't want me talking the whole time. You guys get sick of that shit real quick. I know D already does.
I've never said that.
It's not so much in what you say, it's how you say it.
That's right.
It's not like when you say, Joe, I wish you would talk a little bit less. But when you do say, God damn it, shut up, it's like, you know. I just feel like there's a certain tonality in your voice.
Yeah. Only you and the dogs get it.
I tell you who else gets it? That's Kay. Because Kay's told me on more than one occasion to shut up. So.
No, the voice that I use.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Papa Smitty noticed that voice Saturday, I think, with the dog. Going after the water bowl again.
All right, I think I'm going to move on to the next one, just so we can keep it fresh, and then I can come back and see what I need to do on this.
Okay.
So I don't be getting that artist blind, you know?
Yeah, trust me, I know.
So far, it's looking all right?
Yeah, so far it looks great.
Yeah, maybe I should let's just go ahead and add some red.
Ellie says looking really good.
Ellie, you're back.
It was a short poop break.
Ooh, I didn't think girls pooped.
It may have been a poo break then. She says, I've been here. I left for like 3 seconds. So really short poo break.
She's deficient. She said, I've been here the whole time.
The whole time Joe was talking smack.
Yeah. This is also going to help me see how much more blood I want to add.
Right. I'm going to tell you what, though, about the Viltrumites is they bleed like nobody else.
And they make other people bleed, too. Do you bleed?
They splatter quite a bit, yeah.
He said they don't die, but they bleed a lot.
They don't die, they multiply.
No, that's proven to be false. They don't multiply enough.
That's right, that's baby's kids.
That's why they have to resort to SA.
JT67, 0. Yeah, sorry, 670. My bad. JT, whatever it is, welcome in, man.
Thank you. Welcome in, bro. Is it starting to look like blood now?
Yes, absolutely.
Instead of that filth you were talking early? That's why Ellie left?
That's probably why she took a 3-second break.
She said, you know, I need a break. I need a break from this guy. Gosh.
What up, Joe? Yep.
He just keeps going.
She said, I had to check a message, LOL.
I thought it was something important. You know, Ellie?
It was about an order I sent out.
Hey, nice. Have you hit that 1,000 sales yet with all the orders? Because man, you're a lot more proficient than I am. I need to step it up, and I'm going to, Joe. We're going to be doing sketch covers for days.
Right.
I hope you're ready.
She says, no, I'm almost to 500, though. Holy moly.
Almost 500 sales or $500?
500 sales. 500 sales? Holy moly, that's got to be good.
Like, yeah, that's amazing.
No kidding.
I'm not even at, I feel like I'm at like 20 something. How long have you been doing this that you've got 500 sales already?
She's also got 500 salsas. So.
Yeah. You're not counting those, are you?
Well, she says, I've been streaming for almost a year. Still, almost a year at 500. I mean, right now, I'm averaging one a week. So.
I mean, but you just started like a week ago.
You are correct. And honestly, I couldn't imagine doing 500 because that's a lot of art to crank out. A lot.
I don't appreciate how you just like hit the flex button real quick. It's like, yeah, I'm already at like 5. I just started an hour ago.
I said I'm at 2.
Yeah. It was the attitude. It's not what you said, it's how you said it, Joe.
Because, I do a bunch of sketch cards and then run them. I rarely get commissions.
She's giving us the cheat code.
I guess technically that last one I did was a commission, wasn't it?
Yeah. Even the one for Smitty. Wouldn't you consider that?
He's the one who asked me to do it, so that's why I was like, well, I guess technically, it's a, what do you want to call it? A commission. And then I got to start a new commission, so, which is nice. I have no idea how much it's going to net me or anything like that, but.
It's all about you getting your art out there.
Yep. I was talking. It's like, okay, so like that's why I was talking to like this guy at work today, and he's like, so you're making any really good money? I'm like, no, I wouldn't say it's good money, but it's like I kind of think of it like this. I'm like,
it's a start.
I'm going to be drawing anyway, and so if somebody's actually going to buy my art and it's the stuff that I'm already drawing, regardless, all they're doing is helping me buy my materials, which is more help than I've ever had before.
Right.
So I'm happy doing the stuff like that. Ellie says, come to think of it, my 1 year is next month.
Oh, snaps. Are you going to do a party? Are we going to do a raid party for you? Where everyone just goes into your stream?
She's like, I don't know.
Don't invite Joe because he'll ruin the
I'll screw it up.
surprise. Yeah.
Oh, I'll screw it up. Ask Kelly about how you can get everything 50% off. Ellie says I might just start art cards at $1 instead of the $8 I normally charge.
For what?
$1 cards is, I mean, I guess if you're starting the auction, maybe, but I wouldn't start with less than $5 because your stuff's better than like $1. She's like for the 1 year.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, yeah, I wouldn't go as low as $1. I mean, that's the great.
Can you even go lower than $1? I don't think you can. I didn't feel like you could.
Ellie says, yeah, but I have 20 fully done cards I've had for months because no one wants them.
What cards?
Ellie, you might have the same problem that I have, and that is I like to do artwork and characters that nobody else gives a rat's ass about. Oop, Pop Smitty's here, so I'm going to wash my mouth. Ellie says some Pokemon and some oddball ones. Papa Smitty says I'm back. My phone died.
Bro. What type of phone do you have?
It's got to be like my girlfriend. She has an Apple. That thing's always taking a crap on her.
Or what? Your Apple?
An Apple. Yeah, she has an iPhone.
And what iPhone does she have?
Oh, God, Lord. What model are they on right now?
16.
Okay, so they just came out with the 16 and she has the 15. She got it like last May because she had the one before that and she dropped it and it broke the screen and it broke both cameras. So she had to get a whole new phone. And so at the time she got the 15. Papa says he's got an iPhone 14.
See, even his phone is newer than mine. I got the iPhone 12 Pro Max.
I got it 2 times.
Ellie says that she has an Android. Ellie, don't feel bad. I have an Android too.
No, feel bad. Feel bad about that. Just because he has one doesn't mean that you need to not feel bad. Y'all can feel bad together.
I don't feel bad. I love my Android, and Ellie says she loves hers too.
Interesting.
Ellie says that she despises iPhones.
Some people just aren't made for good stuff. I'm just
you're not wrong. So
mm-hmm.
That's why they buy iPhones.
Are you finished?
I really have nothing negative to say about iPhones. They honestly they do some really cool stuff. You know, they usually take really great pictures. And Papa Smitty says, "Nice D."
Yeah. Are you finished?
Ellie said I had an iPhone that one of their updates effed up, and they wouldn't fix it. Phone wasn't usable anymore. Sounds about right.
I've never had that happen. But my phone does stop working when it needs to be updated. That's what I hate. Like if you don't update your phone, all of a sudden like CarPlay won't work.
Oh, that sucks balls.
Yeah. And then when you update it, it works perfectly fine.
Yeah, I don't have that problem at all. My phone automatically updates regardless of whether I want it to or not. But the crappy thing is it'll always update in the middle of the night, and usually I'm obviously asleep when that happens. So when it updates, it restarts the phone, and you have to tell your phone to, like, after it updates to kind of power back on. And so, like, when it does its update and shuts itself off, I don't have an alarm. I don't get, like, text messages. I don't have a ringer. I have nothing. So if I don't, like, wake up accidentally on time because I'm used to waking up at a particular time, then I'll be late for work.
Yeah, that's wild.
So I don't know. The one thing I know about the difference between iPhones and Androids is it's a half dozen in one and 6 in the other. So they both have pros and cons, and it's just, I got what I got because at the time it was a really good buy, and it was a lot better than what I had before. Miles and miles and miles better than what I had before. But yeah, it was like what Ellie had with her phone when it took an update and died. When my girlfriend dropped her phone and she had the insurance plan on it, they wouldn't even honor the insurance with Verizon. So they were like, "Oh no, your phone's broken. We can't do anything with it." And she's like, "All right, well, I have the insurance, so can you replace it?" And they're like, "Nope." So she had to buy just a brand new one. Kay joined and then said, "Sorry, be right back." So
She said, "Just kidding."
Yep.
Oh, Joe's still talking. I'll be back.
That is correct. I'll be right back. I forgot to mute my speakers. Yeah, one of these days you're gonna have to show me how your setup. Which, by the way, you're starting to slide slightly to the left. There you go. How your setup is, because I like the way that your angle works better than my angle.
Got it.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that I felt about, like, when I was streaming on Saturday was I felt like, because of the angle my camera was at for my phone, I don't know, it just didn't work. I don't know how else to describe it. I don't know, maybe it's okay for everybody else, I'm just too picky.
Maybe. But we'll look at it, no problem. Pop Smitty said, "Nice D," and it muted him. They said, "Nope, we ain't gonna do all that, sir."
Yeah.
He was just like, "Oh, nice D."
Yeah, he says nice work.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he was talking. He was either at the time. I don't know if it was because, like, of what you're drawing, which I'm assuming. But I also thought it was because of how you, like, potentially shut me down with the "Are you done?" So,
yeah. I thought that was.
I could have gone either way.
We're just gonna apply it to both.
That's right.
And I'm just adding red at this point to whatever looks nice.
Now Ellie's BRBing, so.
What's it looking like over on YouTube?
It looks I've been popping in and out.
Oh wow, you haven't been there.
No, I've been popping in and out. I promise you, I have. So yeah, it's exactly the same when I left it before.
2 viewers, both of them are you?
No, one viewer and one of them's me.
Wow.
It's hit and miss because I've seen it up to 9 at one point. So, they come and go.
They come and go.
Just like on Whatnot.
Yep.
Their phones die and then they come back.
I do the same thing though. I ain't even gonna lie. Because if Joey and Todd is streaming and then like Deviant Apple or Def Shogun, like everyone streams at the same time, I just be back and forth.
Yeah, I kind of get that. It's kind of hard to play favorites, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't want somebody playing favorites. I mean, yeah. So let me ask you a question. If you want to draw tomorrow, do you want to start earlier?
We can.
You know, I mean, just at least a little bit earlier if you want.
Yeah.
So this way we've got a little bit more time.
We can for sure.
Yeah, because I know, like, for me, I probably got, like, about 15 or 20 more minutes.
Okay.
And that's why I was sitting there thinking, but I know we also got, like, a later start at 7:45 my time. So I'm like, but if we need to, I don't know, start, like, closer to 7, that's 45 more minutes of drawing.
Yeah. Let's start early. I'm off. Like, I'm off.
Yeah.
So whatever time you want to start, just let me know and I'll schedule it for that
Well,
time.
let's tentatively say 7 o'clock, and you can text me and double check all that stuff to verify, because I'm good with that. But I want to make sure you're good with that, because I don't know if your schedule works like mine does, but whenever my family catches wind that I have the day off, they all assume that, like, oh, Joe's off work today, then he must be here for me.
No, my family is like, are you streaming today? My wife looks at me, well, why not? Like, why are you being lazy?
No kidding. Right?
You know you're supposed to be streaming. Why are you not streaming? All right, now I got some chores for you to do. All right, I'm going to go stream.
Yeah, that's coming up for me here the next couple of weeks with yard work and stuff like that as it starts actually getting kind of warm. So
it was warm today, bro. It was a little hot today.
Yeah, my girlfriend said, like, over where she's at in Tucson, it got up to like 94.
Yeah, it was like 100 over here.
Oh Lord! And I'm like, I told her, I said, I think we topped out like somewhere in like 52 maybe. So she's always like, lucky. I'm like, move out here. I give it to you all the time. I like, weather-wise, maybe the other one too, but weather-wise. Welcome, Kuski.
Let's add in a little bit more blood.
Oh, Ellie just popped back in.
You can't have too much blood. I mean, the more the better when dealing with Invincible.
Right. Every time I see these characters like Wolverine and like Invincible characters and stuff like that that bleed all over the place, it always makes me think of like the Batman Beyond.
Why?
Because that's like how their series ended on that was the last episode of Batman Beyond actually showed you the origin of Terry McGinnis, and they flash back to the Justice League animated series where Amanda Waller had been going around for years picking up blood samples from like different heroes, like whenever they left their DNA all over the place. And so Terry McGinnis was literally like a clone of Bruce Wayne. And so physically, he's like identical to Bruce Wayne. And in that episode, when she's talking about everything that she did to him and, everything like that, like, she tells him like exactly who he is. She's like, we weren't trying to recreate him physically. We were trying to recreate that beautiful mind of his. And they failed miserably. So, but Terry McGinnis is not that stupid, but, he's still, so that's why. But then, like, later in that episode, like, towards the end of it, he's filled full of, like, all this rage and hate and stuff like that. And then he goes back and Bruce is all crippled and stuff in his, cave, but, he actually doesn't take it out on him and just pretty much just sits there and says, hey, let's go into our next job. Ellie says, had to go say hi to two of my favorite people, and Cervantes says, great episode. I thought so, too. I thought it was actually kind of a cool way to wrap it up. But again, every time I see these characters that bleed all over the place, I'm like, somebody somewhere is going to be picking this stuff up and doing something with it, you would think. I mean, crying out loud. I mean, Marvel's got Hydra and AIM and all these other, crappy organizations that got to be doing something like that around there.
It just doesn't feel like enough blood.
Yeah, I guess when you're dealing with a Viltrumite, it never does. Kelly says that's pretty bloody.
Not enough. It's just not enough. I like the other lines a little bit better. Like these Viltrumites are exploding heads and
So I'm going to ask you this quick question. So obviously his nose is bleeding out into his mustache.
Yeah.
And then so where's all that blood in the mustache going?
In the mustache going?
Yeah, where's it going out?
It's absorbing into his mustache. I don't think it's like coming out of anything.
That's why I was just kind of wondering, like, if you were going to have it like pouring out the rest of the way down his chin or something like that. So
no, but this could be coming from his lip right here.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, I'm sure he's going to have a busted lip or two, but Ellie says, I don't know how to do blood. Ellie says, but if there's a lot, wouldn't it drip? Some of it is drippy. That's where it's like all over his suit from, and some of it's going to be like on his chest and stuff.
And then at the end of the day, I still planned on coming back and hitting it with some of this right here. The splatter. You know?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Welcome in Re23 Jewelry and Trinity Purcell. Welcome in. That helps out a whole bunch, to be honest.
I usually do that like afterwards because I like the reds are different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this adds variety to the colors, so it's like red and orange and stuff. And then there's like, so that's like old blood, and then this is like new blood.
Yeah.
So, and then I can use like these drips sometimes. Nah, I'm gonna just keep painting it like I was doing.
I like how it looks like that one ear is bleeding.
Yeah. I wanted to kind of around the edge and then drip down.
Kay finally came back and she says, "Ooh, cool."
Thank you, Kay.
She said, "Sorry, nice progress so far." She said she also had to go poop for a minute. So.
Oh,
you don't have to tell us that, Kay.
At least you're honest.
For some reason, she's yelling at me. I don't know. She says, LMAO, and she's like, he's lying.
She's like, mind your business, Joe.
She's like, I'm still eating. I'll be shitting later. It wasn't a poo. It was a really thick pee.
Yeah. So he does look bloody now.
Yes. Kay says, I've been dreaming of diarangus. Yeah. And Ellie says, apparently Graves doesn't think girls poop.
Mm-mm.
She didn't say that. She said the actual nasty word.
They don't poop or fart.
That's right. They spread fairy dust.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Kay says that was from Dr. Steve Miller on YouTube. I think some robot chicken show. And then Ellie says, Joe, do you not cuss? Oh, not at all.
He does. He curses all the time. And you want to know what's funny? Is he had the audacity to say, "Oh, Pop Smitty is here. Let me watch my mouth." And it's like, for what? You don't watch your mouth with me.
I know.
Like, who the hell do you think you are, Joe?
Yeah, Kay says, fuck off, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I told you she's also the one that's always telling me to shut up. Anyway, so.
Now they're revolting. Now they're revolting, and it's your fault.
Yeah, I know. Ellie says, then why won't you read the word? It just didn't feel like I needed to. It felt like it was more prolific calling it a poo instead of a shit. Kay says a pussy.
Ooh, that's one way of spelling it.
I feel like she's coming at me now.
A little bit. I felt like that was directional. That was definitely meant for you.
You can always spell it punani too.
Oh, that blood's looking good.
Yeah. Did you know you can say bitches without being red boxed? Yeah, there's a bunch of words that like you can put on there without being red boxed. Let's see. Kay says right at you, sir. Punani question mark. Oh my God, yes. So, bitches. That's right.
All right, Joe. So I know your time is limited. We're almost wrapping up.
Okay.
All right. You think that's it for the blood?
Well, we'll ask everybody else. Kay says, they mute even the old school way of texting with numbers. P33. Yeah, P. Let's see. Ellie is boobs with 80085. And then Kay said, oh, never mind. So now they're cursing in numbers. So instead of saying boobs, I mean, do they edit you if you put the word jugs in it? Just like JUGS. Yep, see right there. So I feel like they edit you when you put Hooters. Yeah, in case put muted word boob. Yep. But I guess if you tried to do, like.
Yeah, trying to use numbers and stuff.
Yep. And it's like, nope, we're catching on to you now, Kay. See, and Ellie then says, them some nice jugs. I appreciate that. I took my bra off earlier. Ellie says, I say French fries because they come in all sizes. Kay says she loves French fries. Who would have guessed? Chokes just showed up.
Chokes,
you have missed out all of this, but he says he loves what you're doing.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. What if I have this all red over here? You think this would be all right if I just extend this red more?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with you like saturating the whole. Maybe not all of it, like just like right down to the just like how you got there, so that it's still you can tell it's part of the mustache. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, I do like that.
We're just having fun with blood. All right, what color is the eyebrows? Are they black?
I would probably just go with a gray or a darker gray, just because his hair is kind of like a light gray or a white. So.
No. So, his clothes, he's like gray and white. The clothes, right?
Correct. Correct.
So I think the symbol is white and his clothes is gray.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Chokes knows a lot about the Invincible. What is it? Which one is it?
The symbol is gray. His clothing is white. The lines are gray. And honestly, all of his hair, including his eyebrows, are all like either white or shades of gray.
Okay.
Jenkins Cope, welcome in.
We're almost done with Digital Mondays, you guys. This one got a little away from us, but I'm gonna keep working off air. But I want to get these prints done. Like I said, I got a show on Sunday at a shop called Quest. I'll be back. I'll be back at it again.
Choke says, just a friendly reminder, he's not supposed to have a pupil in his scarred eye.
He doesn't. That's paint splatter.
That's correct. Cervantes says QuestCon. Choke says, okay, sorry, D.
It's all good.
And then Kate
that's
said,
that. Thank you for catching that, because you know Joe.
I thought it was paint or blood splatter too, so I didn't even notice like that. There it was right where a pupil would have been. So
right.
Joe is blind. I'm not wearing my glasses.
I told you about that, Joe. When we stream, you're supposed to be.
Kay's like, why, Joe? Hey, we talked about this. I know. I'm like that kid that lives down the street. You can't wait to hit with your car.
Joe he be feeling like he really don't care sometimes. He said, I do what I want. You think that's a good enough gray? It should be whiter, huh?
It should definitely be whiter. So, I mean, worst case scenarios, you can go through and like definitely kind of put some streaks in it, you know, and lighten it up a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tay. You're as bad as beef.
She's had enough. She's had enough of your foolishness.
Yep. Hey, let's be real. She's probably not real. Kay says he's rubbing off on me. It was muted. It was muted because they thought she was being dirty, but she's not.
I mean, I can see why they thought that.
Oh, yeah, I know.
He's rubbing off on me.
So silly, absolutely.
All right, so let's go in and lighten this up a lot.
Yeah, see, I like with the way that looks like where you have like that base of the darker gray.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to lighten that up a bit because, no offense, if you've been beating the F out of somebody like that, I doubt their hair is going to be like Steve Martin white because he just got out of the shower.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you're going to be blowing through buildings, and so with all the dirt and debris and all that crap, come on. Hello, Woody. Welcome in. Country Road Cards. Welcome in. You know, Kay, that's the one thing you can always count on when you come to D's show is if you got all this frustration and hate and vitriol that's just kind of like overflowing, just come on in and dump it all on my lap.
Are you talking nasty again, Joe?
No, I wasn't trying to. I thought maybe if I encourage people to just show up and talk crap to me, then they would at least show up.
You saying we don't have enough viewers?
No, I'm just trying to encourage the viewers we got to stick around. This way, if like Todd Beats or Jody Lee or somebody like that, or Jeffries, showing their amazing skills off, and they're like, I could go over there and watch that, but they're not going to want me to talk crap to them. So
you're incentivizing.
Kay says, I don't want to do that now. Ooh, that's no fun, Joe. I can talk shit if you want. I wasn't born with that skill. Country Road, and you've come to the right cast.
How you feel about this as a skin tone?
So far, so good. I like it. Now that Kay knows that, because she used to be like one of those social workers or whatever it was before. Now she knows that I suffer from my own mental illness. It's not Asperger's. It's dingleberries.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Honestly, we enjoy the company. We love the camaraderie and the conversation and just, chilling and drawing. This is the whole reason why we do this thing we call art.
Yep. Welcome in, Sue Bird. No, this is why, honestly, like what I talked to you about earlier, but this is why I said, you've got this week off. If you need to draw more and you want me to moderate, I'll be happy to show up.
I definitely need to draw more. I need to get these digital pieces done. I want to. It's not like a need, but I want to, And I want to start on our next sketch cover.
So Kay says, I have too much of an imagination of what dingleberries would be like if you lived with shit around your ass and is every day. She said LMF gags.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's disgusting.
I agree.
Going home with stains in your drawers all day.
Well, I'm just guessing. She's like, Joe, how do you do it? Well, I don't have to worry about it anymore because, the dingleberries are really a problem when you get a hairy butthole. So if you can shave, it doesn't become that big of an issue after a while.
When did you start shaving, Joe?
Usually about 16. That's usually when, all the shaving really kind of became an issue.
I know a lot of guys shave their butt.
Hey, only when it gets out of control.
It only gets out of control because you've been shaving it the whole time.
Not the whole time. She's like, how hairy are you? Kay's asking.
That's what I'm. That's what I was like, bro. I don't suffer from that problem.
Stone Doodle says, "Good Lord, what conversation!" I walk in.
I know. It's Joe, man. He's running wild.
I'm in. What the actual fuck? You shave your butt.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I didn't want to say it, but guys don't do that.
He said dingleberries, so that's correct.
I'm gonna go ahead and make him a moderator so we can block you. I always want that threat to be there. I want you to be able to get blocked maybe every other show.
And the problem is with dingleberries, if you don't really take care of them, then after a while they almost become like dreadlocks.
He said, let's double down on this. Let's double down on this.
Kate says, ew, that's locks. She's like, I have locks. That's crazy. But not locks in your pants. Stone Doodle says, apparently I need to go smoke to get on your level, guys.
It wasn't always like that.
Country Roads card says, okay, so for real, I caught my dog licking my other dog's asshole and going for the dingleberries an hour ago and flipped out. No, that would have been all of us too.
Yeah.
That's nasty stuff. Yeah, when the dogs go in and eat like cat turds out of the box and stuff's like horrible.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a reason too, like vitamin deficiency or something. Like
Yeah,
there's a reason why they're doing that.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like I have a friend of mine that has like 2 dogs. I forget which kind of dogs they are, but they're like giant freaking dogs that look like poodles or almost like labradoodle kind of thing, but they're enormous. And one of them has a poop thing where the other one, whenever it's outside having to go to the restroom, they have to keep the other one back because if they're out at the same time, the second one will literally, like, the poop won't even hit the ground before it's trying to pull it out. Yeah,
so Athena did that to Apollo one time. I was, hey, yo, what the man? She got her butt beat that day. I was like, you're wild. You don't do that over here. Yeah, we don't do that.
Yep. And then the case says they're lacking a type of nutrient. Country Road says what type?
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
I don't know what freaking type, but it can't be that necessary for them to be getting straight from the source. Like it was from butt to mouth. It was wild. ATM for sure.
Let's see. Joseph says bloody cool. Talking about your drawing, just to get off that for a minute. Then Kay says like a effing soft serve machine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's gonna gross me out. The whole 2 cups and two chicks.
2 girls, 1 cup. That was
right now.
That was the shock value of most boys of our age, like of our generation, because when
I had no idea what that was until like a year ago when somebody showed that to me, and
when the internet just started.
Yeah, that ruined Dairy Queen for me. Man, and let's see. Country Road says I feed them core foods. I thought that was really good. I would have thought so too. Kay says that's gnarly. And Country Road says, yo, that was too much. I think Kay says, but that's what happened. And then 2 girls, 1 cup. And Kelly says, I was just about to say that. Kay said, haha, oh my god, 2 girls, 1 cup. And then Kay says, Joe, for real, which part am I being for real about? Because honestly, I'm nothing but real. Country says, I got a virus on my computer downloading 2 girls, 1 cup. Kay says, I love Joe's narratives. Ellie says, you seen it last year. Hey, I'm an old fart, so I was going on the internet looking for that stuff. My son knew what that stuff was before I did, because I went and hung out with some friends of mine, and they were talking about it, and I came home, and I was just like, my son's like, what's wrong? I was like, man, I said, these guys showed me this thing. And he's like, well, what do you think? I said, honestly, dude, I don't want you looking at it, but it was called 2 girls, 1 cup. And he's like, oh, is that the one? I'm like, oh my god, how did you know?
Because that was the shock value. That was like, remember when it was I don't even know if it was for everyone, but do you remember when eventually you were able to see like autopsies and stuff on the internet? Like when it was kind of when the internet first started coming on and you were able to look up all this stuff.
Actually, I don't remember seeing autopsies on the internet. I guess that's another thing I never went looking for.
Yeah, man. I remember because the internet started like when I was younger. I remember being in like 5th grade, 6th grade or something like that.
Kay's laughing. She said that you only discovered 2 girls 2 years ago. Kay says, that's insane. I can't believe you saw that. Only last year.
Yeah.
Country Road says, I think Kay may be into some kinky stuff, just saying. Kay then says, haha, wouldn't you like to know? But, yeah. And then Country says, oh, you are, no doubt. So I just, honestly, that's seriously, I mean, I don't want to think about it anymore. It's going to gross me out. I got to go to bed soon. It's going to give me nightmares. Kay says cheers. So.
How are we feeling about this, you guys?
I think it looks pretty good, especially once you get the gray into the rest of his outfit. It'll look great. Country Road says he likes it a lot.
Thank you.
Kelly says looking good. And I like how you kind of steered everything back to taking control.
Wait, what?
So I like how you steered everything back to the art to try to kind of take control.
Yeah, because let you go on forever.
Kay says this has to have been the shittiest stream ever. Get it? So,
I only imagine what they're thinking over on YouTube. Like, oh my god.
yeah. There could be a reason why there's only one person watching right now, and that's me.
You take such pride when you say that, Joe.
And you know what? I just think that, you know what? I'm there for you. Kay says, oh, and that looks great, the LOL. And Ellie
Thank
says,
you.
I forgot you're doing YouTube as well. YouTube is a great way if he double streams, and at least YouTube like holds this information back for him. Since,
I think the gray needs to be lighter.
That what?
I think the gray needs to be lighter.
I think it does too. And the gray isn't all that costume. The gray is only like that stripe that's on his outfit and his symbol.
So
see, like the majority of the outfit is like white.
I'm all over the place. Okay.
Katie says, have you ever brought the reference over?
Yeah, but sometimes I don't like to do that because I don't want to be overly influenced by the reference. So
right, like,
I get what I need.
You did that for a couple of streams back digitally when you did it for Hiska, the Unbeatable, for Papa Smitty.
Yeah.
But again, that's also another character that was like, I don't want to say an overly complicated costume because it's not. It's actually kind of a cool costume, but it's just a different kind of costume. Mm-hmm. And then she says, that makes sense. Yeah, sometimes you want to look at the reference, but then you want to kind of explore the character in a different way.
Yeah. I want to do different because I find like, and this is just because I'm still trying to break away from being overly reliant on the reference. But I'll take the reference and then I might do the same pose or I might do the same lighting or whatever. And I was like, I want to be a little bit more original. So I'll look at the reference to make sure that I get the overall character. But then I just try to go from there and do my own thing.
He says, I don't usually do color on digital, but I know that you can color drop from photo.
Yeah, you can. And I like, but I like approaching it traditionally. I was watching someone, I forget who it was, one of our buddies who was just getting into digital, and I was telling him the same thing. But sometimes I just like the process of coloring it in old school.
Right. Well, Kay says, I'm kind of bad at freestyle. I would think if I was doing that, I would want to do it the way you're doing it because the whole color drop thing, I know when I used to do color drop like on Photoshop, if there was one pixel that was missing,
the whole thing would get colored.
Color drop would, it would shit all over it, and it was just like, well, that didn't work out for me. Yeah. But I like doing it the way you're doing it, I think, because, I'm more comfortable doing it in real life. It just seems like I would want to keep that muscle memory going.
How's that looking?
Kay says it's the same thing for her with gouache. So I think it looks great, and I like now that you've got more of the gray in there. And Kay says it also looks good to her.
Perfect.
Papa Smitty says it's looking good. Stone Doodle says looks good, buddy.
Thank you.
I also think it looked good. Kay says, I don't know anything about this character, but it's super clean, dude.
Thank you.
Kay, get on some Amazon Prime and watch some Invincible. At least like the last episode or two. Joe, shut up. Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You say that now, okay?
Look at that.
Almost like it was supposed to be there.
I got to do something with the background.
She says, okay, Prime out. Well, I need to get on this.
What are we thinking for the background?
Oh, boy.
I
mean, honestly, you could do space. I mean, it's just because Viltrumites all come through outer space. But, I mean, realistically, I mean, you could do, like, destroyed buildings in the background of them. You could do, like, that beachy area towards the end of the episode. I mean, there's 100 different things you can do.
Right. He's flying a lot of the time, so we could do, like, a blue
Sky with clouds or whatever behind him. Is his shirt white? Yes, it is. It's white shirt with the
gray trim.
The gray trim. She says, "Oh, okay. Then you have a ton of freedom for the background."
Yeah.
And she says, well, considering his hair is whisked to the side, so being up in the sky makes sense. I agree with that, okay? But let's face it, okay, if you had hair like that, you'd probably be putting some hairspray in that to keep it all down or up. Tell me about this character. He's from a race called the Viltrumites, which are basically like Kryptonians, like Superman, but they fly through space and conquer worlds. And they're not nice people at all. Oh, he's a villain, absolutely.
He's misunderstood, though. He's a misunderstood villain. He said, even the Viltrumites don't like me. They're scared of me.
That is correct, because of how absolutely horrible of a person he is.
No, how good at his job he is. They send him to do a job, and he does too good.
I know, but let's face it, like, okay, with a planet exploding, yeah, okay, that's what Kay said. She said, perhaps a galactic background with a planet exploding. So, okay, so he's too good at his job, I agree. But because of the pleasure he takes at his job is what makes him, villainous.
Yeah.
That is correct, So it's not what you do, but it's how you go about doing it is, So for example, a good example in my opinion is like when you watch The Green Mile, when you watch like all of those guys that end up like having to put that guy on in the electric chair, which one out of all of them is the villain? And Papa Smitty says, gotta get to bed. Good night, everyone. Papa Smitty, thank you for stopping by. Always appreciate you showing up.
Always. Thank you, Pop. You have a good night, brother.
So yeah, in those circumstances, I think it's definitely Percy,
Yeah. We got to make the scar a different color.
Slightly different, that's for sure.
Yeah. There we go. I think that looks good.
Looks good to me. Stone Doodle says it looks great.
Thank you. I feel like I need to put some more, like some more blacks. Hmm.
Sam 1911 just showed up. Welcome in, Sam.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Kay says, "Is this app available in other countries or just the Americas?"
No, I feel like it is available, but it's only available on the iPad.
Are we talking about Procreate or are we talking about Whatnot?
But she's in Canada, so.
Right, but it's in the Americas, is that plural? Yeah, she's asking about Whatnot.
I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't know. I don't want to be overly confident and say no and be wrong.
Whatnot is currently accepts sellers from the United States, Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands. She said, "Just wondered because I have a comic artist from Malaysia who would do amazing on here." And she goes, "Wah, boo." Yep. Well, I tell you what, I feel like if you're ordering something from a Whatnot person in Europe, you're probably not going to be getting your art like in about 3 or 4 days, or vice versa. Them showing up. Welcome in, JoJo.
JoJo, welcome in.
Pardon, say that again. I missed that. No, I meant like if you're ordering something from somebody like, you know, or vice versa, they're ordering from you, you know, and they're like in Europe, you know, and whatnot, you know, obviously you have so many days to get it out. That's perfectly fine. But I'm going to say like it's your customer or you, depending on which way the merchandise is going, is probably not going to show up for quite a while. I mean, as it is right now, I mean, I live here in the Midwest, and I'm just sending stuff down to like Florida, and it's taking more than a week. So, yeah, it's going to go for sure, probably a month. So, yeah.
How's that looking?
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I wasn't sure about the black yet, honestly, at first, but I'm thinking it's honestly kind of helping quite a bit. She says, "Yeah, my stuff right now is taking longer at customs because of the tariffs, I think." I don't know if it's the tariffs that's causing it, because honestly, like my stuff going across, I mean, I send stuff to my girlfriend all the time and vice versa. And she just sent me a package from Tucson. She sent it to me almost 2 weeks ago, you know, and that's just here in the States, 2 weeks. And UPS, you know, not even USPS, but UPS, and it's taken them almost 2 weeks to get it to me. So, and then they're saying like weather is causing issues. So I'm like, I don't know what weather is causing that kind of issue where it's taking me 2 weeks to get it out. Yeah, they've been saying that, absolutely. It's ridiculous. I think they're using it as an excuse. Kay says, I wonder if USPS is going through something. Let's check Reddit. Ha ha ha. I know that this is the weird thing is I don't really, I mean, Whatnot likes using the post office, but when I use, like, in my personal life, I don't use the post office. Because when I send stuff to my girlfriend in Tucson, they have, like, a really hard time, like, getting anything out. Like, they took their hub away from Tucson and moved it up to Phoenix. And I'm like, why would you do that? I mean, it's like having almost 2 million people in your city, like, not worth having, like, your own hub. That's ridiculous. So it takes everything a whole lot longer to go through, like, regular post office than it does through USPS. It's absolutely ridiculous. Welcome in, sunshine.
All right. Because Joe has limited time, I think we're going to finish here on our Digital Mondays. It's about 10 o'clock your time, huh, Joe?
Yes, sir.
Look at that. What do you guys think? We got all this done on stream today, so let's see. So this was the original sketch.
Stone Doodle said fantastic.
The original sketch. And then we got the finished product. I think that looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree.
For it to really be flat. Because I could go in and I can do highlights on the skin and all of that, but, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's really one tracked. Let's just throw the blood on him.
Yeah.
Keep it gangsta. Good job.
TK says it looks good.
Thank you, Kay. Thank you. Thank you guys for visiting. And we're going to be streaming tomorrow as well, but we'll go a little earlier. So we'll start streaming at 5. And we'll be working on a character named White Sword for Pop Smitty. So he'll be able to watch that, you guys. Let's see if there's
5 o'clock your time, 7 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
So
let's see if there's anyone that we can raid. We got Spangler, Dev Shogun, and Deviant Apple. Deviant Apple's got 13 people. Oh, look, we got Cassie Rose. Let's actually raid her. Let's do a raid. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for visiting.